this is not the sun. This
Okay,
is
go
not the
ahead.
Sunday live, but basically, we're trying to make sure we get a couple of folks, let them know us, we know you, and what better way to start than what he's doing numbers, man. We're basically educational community, right? We're trying to focus on building generational wealth. That's what we really want to be doing. Yeah, there are some interesting. I mean, I think it was after COVID, there was a massive influx of depending on what community you identify with, right? There was a massive influx, I know, of the minority communities anyway into trading. And as we know it now, there's been a lot of influx of many generations now, like I don't know what they call them, Gen Z, Gen X, or whatever the millennials and everything into trading. And David and I, when we started this, we've been in this before the COVID, but after COVID, obviously, we have more opportunities because everybody's working from home to really focus on how do you create generational wealth. And henceforth we started is doing numbers, building generational wealth through trading and long-term investment in stocks, crypto and NFTs and what have you. I mean, David and I used to joke about this crypto thing, like Bitcoin back in the days, right? We were so early, but it is what it is. I think what was it then? $100, $200 when we saw Bitcoin, but now it's 30 something thousand. And but yeah, that's the old gist. At the end of the day, we want to make sure we focus on creating generational wealth, and that's what we do in this group anyway. We work together. There's no master, there's no king, pain, or whatever it is. We're basically working together as a community, trying to reach out to everybody and see what we can offer and what you can offer us as well. And we basically on fundamentals and technical analysis. There's no magic here. All we do is we try to do what we can with what we see on the charts. Basically, if you've been here and been around for like 2-3 days, you will have seen a lot of posts by David in the main group, or even if you're premium members already, you will have seen a lot of posts by myself and a few other folks in the premium rooms where we analyze so many trades. And that's how people make money. It's not by 9 to 5 or weekend jobs alone. You could have your 9 to 5. There ain't nothing wrong with that. The point is, how can you get from the level you are now to the next level? So yeah, doing numbers is basically focused on creating generational wealth. The money you make today is not your 9 to 5. You got to think about your kids. You got to think about those coming after you, right? How do you transfer the wealth to them? So this is where you start. This is where it's all start. It all starts from 30% every day, investment every day, 40% every week, 100% every year. It goes a long way. Generation is not 5 years. We're talking about 25 at least. So once you start now, it looks like 25 years is a long time from now. But if you start today, in 25 years' time, you're ready to be somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's us in general. I don't know if David want to add 1 or 2 more things there.
Oh, you got it, big dog.
All right, sir. So, like I was saying, after the COVID, right, it was essential to have somewhere or some place for us to communicate. And I think a lot of, if you've been into trading for over 2 years, Discord is one of the apps out there where you could download on your phone, and it allows you to create like a group or a community. It's actually for gaming. Those are into gaming. You will have heard about Discord back in the days. It's still the same thing, but now a lot of people are using it for trading groups. And when we first started, we have also groups that we're trying to do before. I think we're using, I can't remember the name now, some messaging app before, but that didn't really work well. So we created this Discord group where we can jump into and create different communities and different channels. And the thing about new members is there's a lot of rooms, a lot of channels. You don't know where you're going to. It takes a while, and that's okay. That's okay with everything, right? Everything takes a while. You don't, unless you build it yourself, you cannot be a master, and on your very first day. So that's why we'll be doing this a lot, like I said, this orientation to expose what we do internally. We have a main lobby that we post a lot of messages to. We, put a lot of things in there. Sometimes it might be quiet, and that's because it's the main lobby. It's the free room for everybody. Another free room we have as well is the crypto channel, and if you go in there, you will have seen a lot of a lot of members communicating about Bitcoin and so on and so forth. Discord, you might not be used to Discord. It's not like your popular, social media apps out there. So that's why I put some screenshots in there. I don't know if you can see on your screen. When you sign in or when you first join the group, you will see the main lobby, upgrade, crypto, community call out, profit and loss. You won't see all these alerts, watch list, education. You might say education, but what really goes on behind the scene is when you become we have a subscription, and we'll talk about that later on during this event. But for those that are paid members, which is about $1 a day, is really affordable in our opinion. $1 a day for our paid members. You can see premium rooms, you can see trades. That's where we drop a lot of these alerts in there. We also have the long-term investment room. We have where we drop the up news. We have Sunday session. If you come back in the next 45 minutes, this place is going to be crowded. A lot of people in the Sunday session, where we dive in. David dives into a lot of these stocks for the week, for the next 2 weeks, for the next upcoming year, earnings report for months to come. So we do a lot behind the scenes. So if you're just joining us for the very first time or maybe a week or two, it might take you to what's going on in this group. I can't really see anything. Or maybe you see a trade alert like, hey, buy CBS or buy, Facebook, 240 call. You won't understand some of these things. So it takes a while, and that's what we do here. We try to show you over and over again. Once you start getting used to it, you don't have to rush into it. You can take your time and learn. But once you start getting into it, it starts to make sense. You start to see the watch list, how we go into trades. I mean, I spend a lot of time in the watch list, and I get on very early to show how we find these trades, because that's the whole point. We're here. We're not here to discuss football, man. We're here to make money. So why not get to it? So we show how we can build a lot of these research and analysis that we do. We have also one-on-one sessions. David does a lot of the one-on-one sessions. I'll be jumping into it once I have more free time. But the one-on-one sessions are very powerful. That's where you really get to have your time, your 1 hour or 30 minutes or 2 hours, however long you want it, and spend time chatting with David for now. Maybe David and I later on, and you can understand, the relevance of these trades. I know some of us are probably familiar with trading already, but the idea is to really dive into what's the thinking behind this play by David, or what's the thinking behind this play by Ken. A lot of them are not always gonna be 100%, 500% reward, but the idea is if you stick to plan, if you keep doing the same thing every time, and you're refining it, and that's what we do here. We make it better every time, right? So today, you make a call, you get 40% investment. You put your money there, you make 40% investment. Tomorrow, you try the same pattern, the same style, the same analysis. It could be better than that, So that's the whole point of staying together and working together. And once you start getting used to us, we start getting used to you. We understand how you trade. You understand how we put the trades out there. If you don't mind going to the next slide. And feel free to stop me anytime, anyone, if you have any questions. I know, like I said, there's a lot to take in, and this is one of the examples, right? Research and analysis is one of the very key things that we take very serious here. Like, this is a chart here, and I won't spend too much time on this, but the idea behind this one was, you could see when David was looking at it, I think this is MRK, I think it's MRK. When he was looking at this trade, he's done, I think he simplified it here, but he's put a lot of work behind the scenes, and he just provided a very simple chart for us. But to know whether you go long on a given stock, you will have done a lot of research. Where's the resistance? Where's the support? Where's the gap? Where's the channel? What's the long-term idea? What's the news going on? You build all these all these all these data points, then you land at a point where, okay, you know, if it goes above 78.72, I need to go long in it. I could go long as far as 83, as far as 88. You know, all these things they're not just throwing, picking numbers randomly out there. It's basically you sitting down. I mean, we sit down and we look at a lot of this. We compare analysis together. Like, you know, sometimes you could say, get this particular stock at 78.72 because I know it's going up, right? Another time you could say, hey, when it gets to 88, I know it's going to come down. You know, those are the things you have to understand. It's not just one-way street. You have to look at your favorite stock or the stock you've been tracking for so long. You have to see how it actually plays out. You know, you see, is this the best? I mean, am I forecasting this trend well? So, you know, there's a lot of things that we do here, and that's the reason why we always provide Sunday sessions, which is a very good example where we show you the charts and see how it actually really works. We also provide the graphs, the charts, and everything else, so you can see, oh, he said I should get into MRK at 78.72, and there's always a explanation behind that. Hey, every time it gets to this level, it's been coming down. So I'm assuming if it breaks out and it comes back to test it, or when it bounces on the MA 200, MA 100, there's a lot of terminologies in the stock trading world. Some of these things, they might sound like, oh man, this is too complicated. But once you get used to it and you see us do it over and over again, then you start to, you start to get your feet wet, and you start to get your what's it called? You start to get your confidence, and you start to understand, oh, this is why he got into this play. This is why he's doing this way. But anyway, research and analysis is very key, and that's what we base everything on. Like I said before we started recording this event, we had this week alone, if you've taken at least 3 out of like 10 plays out there, I mean, it's not about the money at the end of the day that you make, but you will have made at least 100% of whatever you invested in on Monday. You will have made 100% by Friday. Like, so many plays went up to 100%. And it's not just the 100% that we're looking for, right? We're looking for successful trades. You know, there's nobody out there that is always, we're not saying we're 100% accurate or perfect. That's what we're trying to get to. But we might, sometimes we get there in a week, sometimes we get there in a month. But the point is, we try to be consistent with the plays, right? We're trying to be consistent with the idea, with the patterns as well. So that's why, you know, as you join us, you will see there's more effort into research and analysis, as opposed to, oh, take this play, without explaining to you. We want you to be able to make those plays. So that's why we show you all the tricks in the book that we know, so that you can make the play, and I could take the play you on as well. So that's the thing, you know, when you're making a good play and I'm on it, then it makes sense for us to be on the same. It makes sense for me to show you how to fish, as opposed to me just giving you fish every time. So that's the idea of this group. Like I said, research and analysis is really vital, and we do that a lot. Don't be overwhelmed. Just relax. Take your time. You don't need to rush. If it takes you 2 weeks to understand what green means or what red means, so be it, man. You know, just keep following the trends, keep following the plays. But, you know, in 6 months, what you know now, it's going to be less than what you know in 6 months, because you have added more to your trading, trading pattern and trading style. Then, so one of the other things we do as well, and I'll start going back to that one now, is talking about dividends. Dividends is just one of the best way for a lot of these companies to kind of retain the stockholders, or the shareholders, basically. So they create this way of incentivizing these incentives, right, to make you want to stay and hold the stock. And it's great because if you buy a stock, say you buy Apple, maybe Apple is not the best. Let's say you buy IBM. IBM is about 128, 127 right now. If IBM gets to, let's say IBM gets to 150, you know, as a trader, you're thinking, I've made $22 per share, right? But here's the thing, IBM doesn't want you to sell even if it goes to 125. So they say, well, you know what? as we making money, we'll pay you for holding our shares. So now, if you have IBM at the price of 128, right, and it's gone up to 150, you don't have to sell because IBM will pay you something they call dividends. Now you get dividends for just holding onto IBM shares. IBM shares is like what? They pay about $1 every share you hold every 3 months. So that's a lot of money. And that's what the other thing you have to think about as well. I know you see us play options on the floor, and that's because we're using that money and transferring that money to our long terms. So if you have like a long-term portfolio or a stock that your company that you really like, one of the things you have to think about is, if I'm going to hold this stock, right, what's the value for me in the next 25 years? It's not just about, okay, the company is going to grow in the 25 years. It's even more better if the company pays you dividend in the next 25 years. So those are the things you got to think about. There's a lot to, I'm not going to go too deep into because of time. I just want to make sure I let you know what we do here. So dividends is basically a way of you collecting investment over time. You know, the net worth and the income will keep growing. If you buy AT&T is $22. They pay about 25 cents per share. You know, a lot of people wait for AT&T to come down below 20 and they buy a ton of it because that's a good support level. So everything clicks in, you know, support, resistance, buy into a company, buy their shares, the dividends will pay you. There was a graph, and I'll share it one of these days anyway. It was a graph that shows you if you own, I can't remember what it was, like even IBM that I was talking about, right? IBM pays $1 per share, right? I know it's expensive, but if you own 1,000 shares of IBM, that means every 3 months they will pay you $1,000. Okay, so that means that's 4 times in a year you get $4,000. I know it's expensive, but let's say you have 128,000 sitting down in your bank, and you buy IBM, and you spend everything on IBM. Let's say you buy IBM 128 or something like that, right? That means every year you will get 4,000 paid to your account. In the next 25 years, you're gonna have 100,000. That's almost double your investment. If you put 128,000 in your bank account right now, you're not gonna get 100,000 in 25 years. So that's where you have to understand. That's another way to get paid. There are some really good companies out there that pay really good money as well. So we do all of this in the group. You know, I look at some of these companies. There's another one called Ultra. That's MO. They pay good money. I don't want to spend too much time. I could go on and on about dividends. I love dividends because that's how you grow. If you have kids, if you have cousins and they're not into investment, this is how you get them into investment. And as you see, investment, long-term investment, the goal is not, I want to make money today. The goal is buy, invest, or buy and hold for a long time or for a given period because you believe in the company is going to do well. If you buy Apple today, right, you're going long. If you buy Apple today, the idea is not to sell Apple in 6 months because it went up, because they released something. It's because you believe the company is going to do really well. You're investing in the company. That's how you go long term. And Apple pays dividends, so even all the better. I don't think Apple is going to be out of business in the next 25 years, unless something happens. Maybe we don't use Apple. Maybe we don't use phone anymore. You never know, right? Maybe it's all about this metaverse coming up now. It could change, but these companies are not going to sit down on the sideline and watch Facebook develop metaverse without getting into it. So all these companies will evolve over time. You have to look at how quickly has this company evolved in the past 25 years and what's their long-term portfolio looking like. Then you can invest and go along with them because you know the share price is not going to be the same thing. And a good example is Amazon. When Amazon started, it was about $10. Amazon is 3,000 now. The people that bought Amazon when it was $10 don't care if Amazon goes down by $100 today. They've been there for like 25 years. They don't care what happens today. And that's what happens about long-term investing. You know, when you start, it's a little bit rough, but when you believe in the company and you've done your research and analysis, which is what we also provide, you start to see there's no rush. Just wait for it. It will come to you. Next year, the price goes up. Next year, I was looking at Chevron. I think I told David this one as well. So looking at, actually, one good example is even Roku, right? David and I were looking at Roku when it was $57, right? Now, Roku went up to 400, came back down. It's still over $57. We saw it 2 years ago. Now, if you bought Roku at $60, yes, you would have made that big money when it went to $500, right? But now you're still 100% on your investment. So that's how long term is. You know, you don't look at, oh, what's going to happen in the next 4 weeks. You're thinking, what's going to happen in the next 4 years? Is this company going to be the same for the next 4 years? I was looking at Chevron, right? After COVID, Chevron was about $80. Now Chevron is about 160 because of what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. But again, those are the things. Some companies, Johnson & Johnson was about 120, like after COVID or thereabout, it actually came way down, but now it's about 180. Because you stay at the stock every day or every month, you don't see the change. But if you go long, then you start to think, oh, what was the price difference in the past 1 year? So yeah, that's a lot of the things we do here. We also do IRAs and selling shares, but I don't want to go too deep into what we do here, but that's doing numbers in a nutshell. We do all this, we work. I mean, I'm up early. Someone was asking me why you're always up early. I'm like, listen, there's a lot to look at. I want to stay at a stock, a share, or a given stock, right? I want to stay at it for like 5 minutes and just see what am I missing. It's not just about, let me jump in, like the CVS play, right? And I know if I open the floor for David to explain a lot of this thing, it's not just, let me look at this for 5 minutes. Oh, I got this. No. We look at it, we go back, we research, we draw the lines, we wait for confirmation, we go back again, research. So it's like a combination of many things, but that's the idea. So like this one here is, we also have, and we'll share, I think this has already been shared, we'll share again. These are some of the ways for you to actually pick up your pen and a paper, print this out and write some of these things you see or put it on your phone. This technology that we have in this world these days, right? Most people don't know how to, I won't say most people, we need to leverage what we have now to make us a better trader, right? The whole point of trading, you gotta think about it. You're looking for something to move in your direction, and you want to know when it's best to get in. If you're buying a house very first time, you don't buy a house when the pricing or the house price is twice as much as what you saw yesterday. You have to wait for it to come down. Or if you go into a market, you're trying to buy something and the price says $60, and you go to check out and they tell you the price is $75, right? You don't just put the money down. You ask, hold on, it's $60. Why am I paying more? So it's the same thing about trading. We have this plan here, and it's a really simple one. You put the name of the stock you're looking at. Let's say ticker Apple. You put Apple down. What is the resistance? If you don't know how to check resistance and support, you could ask David, you could ask myself, or you could ask on the floor. We have a lot of really good traders as well that'll tell you what the resistance is. Resistance is basically where the price, a lot of people sell. Support is where people don't sell, and there's a lot of people buying at that point as well. So that's just the thing you gotta think about. Market is two sides, people selling and people buying. There's nothing to market. There's no other way. You're either selling or you're buying. I mean, even those that are holding, they bought in at some point. They're just not selling. So you gotta be on one side, that's the game. So you don't want to buy the resistance because that's where people are selling. You want to buy the support because that's where people are buying in, because nobody else is selling at that point. And we'll talk about that one later on. And you set your price target. That's the key thing as well. If you buy into a stock, even if you buy options, right? And we do options here, stocks and options. If you play a call, a put, you want to always have a target. It's not about, oh, I'm going to leave this to go to the moon. No. It's great to go to the moon, but you got to have a target. What's my target for this trade? I need to know, am I getting a 50% or is this like a 10%? Is it 5% and so on and so forth? And this is really helpful as well, because this is a very fundamental thing. What's your entry price? You want to know when to get in. You've done your resistance, you've done your support. You want to know what price am I paying? At what point should I pay to get into this trade? And that's where you know your entry price. You also want to know, if you're buying an option, you want to know the strike price and the cost. If you're buying like we put a call out there, I think it was Target. David put that one out there. One of the calls, I have to go check it. It was about $50, right? $50 was the strike price and the cost, and it went all the way up to, I think it went all the way up to 300 in the space of 24 hours or even less than that. And that's the great thing about some of these trading, right? You have to know what your entry price is. You have to know what's going on with the sectors. these sort of things help us a lot to become a really good trader. Another thing we do as well, we check FinViz, we look at some of these. I mean, research is not just you sitting down and looking at CNBC or wherever it is. You have to have various avenues to get the news from, right? And that's what we do here. We provide you all this news. We use FinViz a lot. We want to know which sector, and you see how they break them down per sector. We want to know which sectors are moving, which one is green, which one is red. You don't want to buy when it's green. You want to be targeting the ones that are red. That's what we tell people in our, every trader in our group. Focus on the one that is red today. Why is it red? Let me go see my support. Where are people waiting on the bench to buy into this stock because that's discount? If you got to look at it this way, like if you're new to trading, when you see all red, you're like, oof, I don't want to touch this. But the people that are making money in options and stock trading today, they're waiting for the ones they like to go red. Like Tesla was minus 3%. 3% on Tesla, that's like maybe not too much, but Amazon, it could be $60 off. So somebody's going like, oh, that's a discount. And if you go in the space of 3, 4, 5, or even a week, I think you could do a week here as well, you will see some of these stocks on a discount. So if you look at this now, in the past 1 week, Amazon is minus 5%. Amazon price is 3,000. 5% is roughly $150 off. So, somebody's sitting down there thinking, oof, Amazon is $150. Let me wait for Amazon to get more discount. Or they've gone to the Amazon. If you have the money, they've gone to the Amazon chat already, and they've seen, okay, where's the support? Where should I buy in? Where's my target? If you buy Amazon now and it goes up by 5%, you already make $150. That's a simple thing. But if you look at the ones that are already green, like the healthcare, they're already 6%. If you buying these ones now, you're paying 6% more. So that's the mentality we have in this group. We're not rushing to buy on the green day. We want to be buying on the red day. Like Disney is minus 3%, Apple is minus 2% off. Look at the semiconductors, they're really, really discount right now. But we don't want to rush. We want to look at what point should I be getting into this trade? But we could see right here, the market showing us everything that we like. It's like you're going to Ross, or you're going to Best Buy, or you're going to all these shops out there. If a brand, you go to Apple Store, Apple tells you the MacBook is 10% off. Are you gonna go pay for Apple that is 10% more or 10% off? It's a simple logic, right? Why don't we do that every day when we trade? That's the mentality we have in this group. That's why you see sometimes when it's on a red day, we're actually more active than on the green day. Everybody's making money and selling off at that point. You want to be one step ahead. And that's what we try to do here. We're not perfect, but we're getting close. NVDA minus 13%. So what's stopping me from? I just need to go to the chart and look at NVDA. Where should I be expecting the discount? If NVDA comes all the way down to like 220 or to that blue line over there, I'm buying NVDA. If it bounces, when there's confirmation of price or reversal of direction, you're going to be jumping in like 220 at this point. It's not a bad price, 220. You can see that almost every time around that area, the price is reversed. But you don't want to be too early as well, right? You want to have a confirmation of why you get in. So this is what we do every day in the group. I know I've said a lot in the past about 30 minutes. So if you feel free to ask me any questions, stop me anytime. Especially for those that are new to the group. For those that know me already, they know we could go on and on about this. And we also have a Sunday live coming up. But yeah, I want to hear from everybody. I see a lot of folks join us in the past 5 minutes as well. Naomi, Lawrence, feel free, Courtney. Just let us know. I mean, how do you feel about trading, and what's your long-term goal? Unmute your mic and let's have a chat.
Well, all right. Question is before you get into any play, if it's not a monthly, you gotta wait for the confirmation. Like you was just saying with NVIDIA. So wait till like it bounces, go like the 221 before you jump in, before it, you go like a 225 call, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, like if you really want to be, it depends on let me put it this way. there are certain things that I look at. If I'm going long, I want to be on that last line right there that David has, the 206. I know that 206 line, look at how many times the price is reversed, right? About 4 times. So if you want to go long without having to look back and look at your play, you want to be looking at that 213 to like 206 level. That's when you want to get in. If it's something you want to, like, that's if you're a monthly, type of trader, like that, someone that likes to go monthly, right? You want to be looking at the levels where the price is reversed. When I mean reverse, you can see it's going down and it went back up again, bounced on that 209, went back up, bounced like 3 times, went back up. That means something is telling me there's a lot of people holding NVDA at 206 that are not selling. So I want to be, that's the best entry. And that's the thing about stock trading. You don't have to rush into a particular stock. You could have so many like this where you just set your alert, like the previous page we were sharing in the slideshow. Set your alert on your phone and say, when NVDA gets to 213 or below 213, I want to be ready. If it's not getting there, you can move on to another thing, move on to another trade. You don't need to worry about NVDA at that point. But when it gets to that price point, you're gonna be saying, okay, you know what? I'm going in now. That's the way it works. That's the way trading is. Be patient with the timing that you've identified on the chart itself. And when it comes to your level, you already know when to get in. We played Costco so many times on the floor, and I keep saying to them when we're on the floor, right, like 510, that 518, 525 level, you can see there's so many other things. Like if you really want to go long on Costco, you want to be waiting for 482, 469. But will he come back there? You never know, right? He came back there, it got there one time, so you never know he's going to come back. We played Costco recently from like 520, 510 area, that 518 to like 529. And they had so many events. Look, see how many times it bounced off that area, that 518. Then it took off from there. If you made a trade on that 518 level, you don't need to worry about, if it's going down at 599. You're deep in the money by then. So that's the way trading is. When you set your alert on your favorite stock, there's no rush. If it comes down there, fine. If it doesn't, you move on to the next one and wait for that to happen. Then you could set some, like I said, depending on how far you really want to go, there are some tricks. If you're going like a week-long contract, you could just say, you know what, I want a quick bounce. Maybe if it bounces on this level, I want to go sell it the next day. If you want to go long, like I want to go like 2 months out, then I want to really wait for like 1 week support. Where's the support on the 1 week chart? Okay, I'm looking at 547, might be good. Then I want to see 529 or 518 bounce before I really put money there. Or maybe if it comes down, or maybe it just stays at the 600 for so long. This is what we call consolidation. So there's so many tricks to it, but the idea basically is you want to be patient. This game is a patient game, and that's what Warren Buffett said as well, right? Trading is a way to transfer money from the impatient to the patient. That's how it works. There's no other trick. Because you understand, when you're winning, someone is losing. You don't want to be the guy losing. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So pretty much you just trading support and resistance, just waiting.
That's right.
Waiting to, and then because what the problem I just figured out I was having, my entries was wrong for the, I was reading the wrong charts for the wrong entries. So I was reading a daily chart and then getting a monthly instead of getting a weekly, or like stuff like that. So I understand now.
Yeah, the daily
is different supports for different times.
That's right. The daily is not bad. This is where you have to understand the stock itself. Like every stock has its own way of doing things. Like they have like Costco. I understand Costco, but I won't get Costco now because when you look at the daily chart, there's a gap there. Those are the same things that you have to look at. Some stocks react to gaps differently. Some stocks just keep flying. I'm a kind of person where when I'm trading, I like to understand the particular stock itself. Like David can read Boeing in his sleep. I'm not a Boeing guy. Like every time I get into Boeing, I never do well for some reason. I don't know why. Like even if, like David would tell me, dude, Boeing is about to roll. By the time I get to Boeing, he's already gone. I'm like, come on. Like I don't know why. I never really get Boeing for some reason. It just happens. You'll find one or two stocks like that never work with your plan. You know, some people can trade certain stocks in the dream. I know, and we have another guy, CEO, is one of our own general good, good top guy here as well. He played this company called AA Alcoa. I think they make aluminium or something like that. He could play that thing in his sleep. That's how it is. You know, you have to understand. But point I'm trying to raise is you have to understand the stock first of all to see the direction. What happens? How does it react to news? Does it go down when SPY goes up? Does it go up or does it go sideways when tech is moving? When they talk about interest rate, does it go down? These are minor things you start to see every day. Then when you see the support, even you can use the daily to go long, but this is where you have to know, okay, does he move 5 points in a day? Does he move 10 points in a day? CVS, we play CVS. CVS was 102.1. I put a 105 call out there. Why? CVS does not move that much. And guess what CVS did for us? CVS moved like $6 in 2 days. CVS barely moves. CVS is one of the slowest stock out there. He does about $70 every day. Oh, sorry, 70 cents every day or so. But CVS just went up. We placed the call around 102.8. And boom, we went to 107. I was expecting 105 and it would slow down, but it just kept running. You know, sometimes everything just changes, but you have to understand how the stock moves, right? You know, if you see a stock like Amazon does like $100 a day and it goes down by $100 a day. So you got to be on the right side. Otherwise you lose money or you make money, you know? So that's the other thing you have to understand, Javon, as well. Like, you know, you have to understand the how the stock moves. Does it go up by $10 a day? Does it go down? Target was a good one example. If you could show Target for us, David. Target was a brilliant example, right? Target doesn't do more than 5 a day. But when David put out a call, right, you know, for those that go on Target did, I think it did about $10 one day. And that's a big move for Target. That's a money printing right there. You can see the other bars, right? The candles, all the other ones are small. It doesn't move that much, but every now and then it could do 10, 15. You never know. So you have to understand how the stock moves before you know the best way to actually get in. So that's the idea, you know. And there's so many other things as well, like you have to know. But like I said, you don't have to know everything in one day. Once you learn the support and the resistance, you could build on that. All right.
Sure. For sure. And the last thing, just real quick with Target, we do trend breaks. We do a whole bunch of trend breaks. Whenever you see a downtrend and then this area break at this point is usually a big reaction. So that's why you see most of the stocks look like to you guys that we're just picking the right stock at the right time. But we're doing trend channels, trend breaks, you know, monthly resistant breaks. These are big areas that we got to get above for the next move. So, I mean, just consistency is going to get you where you need to be. If you're consistently working on your craft, you're going to be good. Don't worry about it. You feel me? That's what we got. We just work on our craft every day and figure out what's the best route, what's the best techniques. And I love trend breaks. I mean, like I can spot a trend break from a mile away. And then once that move come, you know, it seemed like I'm just putting so much magic into it, but everyone sees the same thing. So it's going to spike because we all see the trend break from the big money to the little trader. We all see a trend break and we love it. So everybody, you know, Target had a great reaction. Once I posted it at 220, it ran up to 228, closed at 233. So yeah, that's definitely, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, consistency is going to make you 100% better.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's a good example of what I was saying as well. Like some of these trades, they're not just, you know, oh, let's pick a random stock today. It's a lot of, okay, let me go look at the chart. I put a trend break. I put a line there, the, you know, downtrend. You want to be, it depends on if you're a bullish or a bearish trader, right? For most of the bullish traders, they go and say, let me put a trend line. Let me set my alert. So when my alerts kicked in, like, oh, when I'm about to break this trend, I go stare at the screen and look, okay, it's moving. I need to jump in. And like you said, there's this, there was when GME was going off, they asked, I think they asked something about in CNBC or so, this guy, I think it was Shamak or what, I can't remember his name, is the guy that had CCIV, what's his name now? Anyway, I think it was Shamak or something like that. They were asking him in CNBC, right? They said, oh, maybe Reddit is should be banned from talking about trades. And the guy was saying, you do realize there's a lot of good traders out there now. You don't have to be hedge fund company to be able to spot a good play anymore, because everybody's saying the same thing. There's a lot of resources out there. There's Yahoo, there's Webull, there's TD Ameritrade. There's a lot of resources out there that people can go to, just random people can go to and say, hey, I look at this, I know it's going about to break out. So nobody, none of those hedge funds can tell us something otherwise. When I look at this now, it's on a downtrend. So I'm waiting for it to break the downtrend. So those are the things you got to realize. Trading has given us, like, the resources we have now. We've got a lot of resources out there where we can determine when the buyers are coming in. You can see the volume, you can see a lot of things, price action. There's a lot of news out there. So it's just so many great things out there where we combine as a community and we can work together to get to these financial wealth and generational wealth and financial breakthrough we're talking about. All right, anyone else got any questions? I know we said 45 minutes and I want to give you like a recess before we're going to Sunday Live. But yeah, if you have a question now, just unmute your button and let us know about you. I know there's some few folks here that I probably haven't talked to before. Courtney's iPhone, probably never talked to you before. If you don't mind just unmuting, let us get to meet you if you can. There's Lawrence as well. Hey man, let's get to meet you, man. If you want to unmute, but if you're busy, that's fine as well. We'll be here. We ain't going nowhere. So anytime you want to chat with us, let us know. This is doing numbers in a nutshell, really.
Okay, nobody else is talking, so I got another question. How do you set?
Let's go.
How do you set trend lines?
Maybe David can show us here. So before David dives in, a couple of things I want to make you understand is everything I draw on the chart anyway, and David will confirm that for you as well. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. You have to understand. What we're trying to do is we're looking at the likelihood of, if I just look at this region, I could see what's going on there. You want to be able to understand what's going on as opposed to be 100% predicting what's going on. So that's the thing I get a lot when I tell someone to look at a chart. They will go and say, oh, how do I know which point to pick on? They will show you now how to do it.
Well, this is one of the old trades that we put out last year. CRM, it ran from $200 all the way up to $300. But what I noticed off rip, because we traded this in 2020 for pandemic, we made a lot of money off of it on this bar right here. This was August of 2020. Me and Ken, a couple other people that was still in here, we played it from 200 all the way up to about 171, right?
Yes, sir.
Huge trade, amazing trade. But since then, it started getting higher lows. Lower highs, right? Which means at the peak of each one, you can start seeing it starting to drop off. So what I did was, and this trade literally took almost a year to develop for last year. But what I did was this: I connected each point at the higher low, and it gave me a wedge, because technically this line right here, and I'm gonna show you this also. This is going to help me form my wedge. Is this bottom line right here, where the stock kept bouncing off of, which was like 209, 210. Right. So I remember, like yesterday in July, I was calling out crazy CRM calls. I did a 270 for September. In October, you can see it's at, it's 175, but it had that spike in September. Then it ran up to about 300 in November. But this was the initial trade right here. As soon as that stock price broke above 231 at this point, I already knew that the overall downtrend has changed, and now we're in an overall uptrend. So now after using this as my guide, now I had to figure out the new guide, which will come in around here. And then we traded this all the way up. So now that's my new uptrend line kicking in, downtrend broke, uptrend begins. And that's how you take advantage of an overall downtrend on a 1 week scale or a 1 month scale. And when it's on a big scale like that, it calls for a bigger reaction. So congrats.
And you know what's interesting, JG, is you see how that thing got to the 302 and it came back. Look at where he bounced again. He bounced on the very first line when it came down to one right there. No, down.
Right
no, down.
Oh, it's right here.
No. When he broke the downtrend the first time.
Okay, right here. The blue line.
Is up. Yeah, that line right there. See where he bounced off again when he came all the way down the second time?
Yeah.
It gave you a retest. Exactly. It gave you a nice retest right there. So
and he's 100% correct. You don't have to trade the initial breakout. It usually retested that resistance to make sure that support is, old resistance, new support, but it usually retests that support and just to show a confirmation of a solid support before it have a great continuation.
That's right.
Yeah, he's 100% correct.
Because I know you mentioned that one, JG, about what does confirmation look like. If you didn't, that's why on the floor, we always tell everybody, don't chase. If you didn't get the first breakout, just wait for it. Let it come down to you,
And it works both ways. As you can see, the uptrend right here took a break right here at 275. And then look what happened. You had a whole downside, past the initial price point. But that support that is holding that now at 1893, that's the support from 2020 February. Well, resistance from 2003 February. So, you can play it both ways. You just got to have the setup there, where you can understand where the confirmation kick in. If all of this information over here wasn't there, I would just notice that it got below 275. Now I can get puts down at least 250. And then that'll give me a trade idea.
That's right.
All right, so you do the so once again, my understanding is that for the trend lines, you do it on a monthly and a weekly.
Yeah, big. You can do it on small time frames too, but it's a little bit of a quicker trade. That's for like day traders, the people that really want to do a quick swing or a quick day trade. But if you want to do a long call or a long leap, yeah, this was in, from 5 months, 5 months apart. You could have made thousands of dollars if you put a $300 call for November, and then call it. But more than likely, because of the trend line and the high resistance was only at 275, that's why I said in September, I called a 270 call because that was my target price. You feel what I'm saying? It was 275 because that was resistance.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But we literally played 230, 250. We traded almost every area of the trade.
That's right. Anyone else got any questions? I don't want to keep us waiting, but really want to hear from everybody. If you don't mind, just saying hi. I'll meet your button to say hi or something, Just let us get to meet you. This is meant for the new members and existing members as well, depending on how long you've been here. A lot of the plays we put out there might be slightly, you might not be used to it, but feel free to ask any questions.
What indicators are a must-have?
What's up, man?
Said what indicators is a must-have?
Oh,
8-day moving average, 26-day moving average. Lou put me on 50-day moving average, 100-day moving average is regular. 200-day, 300-day is that's what I do. A little extra spice on top of it, but 50 and a 200, not the 50 and a 100, but 50 and a 200. But the 300 is like a bonus confirmation bounce. Is majority of the time, a lot of things bounce off the 300-day moving average on big time frames. And that's just a starter pack. You can add in Bollinger Bands and all that stuff, but get used to seeing the moving averages, how they're crossing, how they're bouncing off each other. That's definitely a good way to have it. I know a lot of people use the MACD which is not bad either. But it's just so many different. I always tell people find one and get used to using that one, perfect that one before you introduce yourself to another one. But RSIs, moving averages, those are the starter packs.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like you gotta know you gotta find your own, what you like. Like, yeah, I love RSI, but RSI for me is great as well. If you look at the RSI on I think Costco, it's gone up. Like, it's a Costco. Yeah, if you try Costco, it's gone up crazy value. Or ABBV, sorry, if you look at ABBV, that's gone up to like 80 on a weekly, which is extremely high. Some people don't use it, but some people use it. You just gotta find like 78 on a what's this?
It's the 4 hour.
Weekly.
It's about 88 on a weekly.
Yeah, so I mean, look at that chart right there. I don't know if this is gonna keep up, but you never know. Some of these stocks just wrong.
Congrats if y'all got the 145. I'm joking.
I mean, definitely find what you're used to. Like, you can see those red, blue, and purple lines, the moving averages. You can see how the stock is bouncing on them.
I'll clear it out.
Yeah, you see how the stocks are bouncing off some of these lines, some of this yellow, green. You get used to it. Like, the more you stare at the stock, the more you understand how this particularly moves. I think the green line bounce has been really cool. It's bounced off, and the blue line supported the last bounce and is reaping off.
That's the 50.
Yeah, that was a good bounce right there.
200 and this the 300. Notice how 300 is usually the holding spot for most stocks. Every time it comes to the 300, that's a great buy opportunity.
Yeah, you see how it bounced so many times on the MA.
So many times, yeah. Yep. And it would do. And talk to yourself, because you can always say, every time the price action crosses above the 200-day, we get a nice reaction. You feel me? So you can have those conversations with yourself. Make sure that you're having, total confirmation and confidence on what you're doing.
And by all means as well, if you see a play being called out, just ask whoever puts the play out there, what did you see? Just trying to kind of learn. If they haven't put all the ingredients of the sauce in there, just ask them, hey, what did you see on this play? And they will obviously tell you what it did. There's no magic to it. Everybody sees it. I mean, we're not the only ones trading. So
facts. You
got to understand for every stock that goes up by $5 or $10 in a day, there's someone putting some $1 million in there. We're just lucky to be riding the wave.
Yeah, facts. It's a lot. I mean, Target, a lot of people made a lot of money off of Target. Like, that was a $15 move in a matter of a day and a half. I mean, 10% on Friday, 10% the day before. Like, it was 12% the day before, 10% on Friday. I mean, that's crazy. Definitely crazy. But yeah. Anybody else or anything? It's definitely 4:03. Got a little Sunday session in 1 hour for all the premium members. Hopefully y'all come back and holler at us. I might let Ken do Sunday session too. He does just an amazing job. I appreciate you, big dog.
We'll see. I'll definitely be in there. Slide in.
No, we definitely do a Ken Sunday like once a month. I mean, special
guest.
The special guest feature.
Yes, sir.
But anybody else?
Hey, if I can get Ken on some of them patterns, man, how he be calling them big old cups and them W's and B bounces and all that, like do the patterns.
Yes, sir. I mean, those are 4 o'clock in the morning walk right there, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, I get the notification.
I'm surprised he didn't call it Jack and Jill by now. They won't even know what to say when you start.
I'm like, let me not go too crazy.
And he be calling the Dragonfly Jones candles.
Yeah, man.
The spinning tops, the dreidels.
I'm telling you, it's funny. The Wall Street guys, they use all these computer generated programs to trade. They don't trade like us, where you gotta go press the buy button.
Hands on.
Exactly. So they already see everything we don't see. So if you want to be on the level of those Wall Street machines, man, you gotta know you don't need to know a lot. I mean, we don't need to know a lot to make money.
All y'all look for is reversal candles,
exactly,
solid in bullish engulfings, 3 kings. I look for the basic, and that's the thing. Again, Ken got he got a repertoire of things he can call out. But for you, get used to seeing at least 3 things that shows you a sign of a reversal or a breakout, and then use that to the max. I'm telling you, because there's enough stocks, there's enough charts that you can be able to recognize your trade at least 10 times a week. There's enough things that they'll show you them indicators. Know what I mean? So yeah, for sure. Like dog, them dojis, you know, can't put me on dojis. You put me on majority of all the candles, but just overall, just basic support and resistance, and you seen the reversal candle, that's my go-to. If I see a good support and I see that solid reversal candle, I'm good to go. You feel what I'm saying? If I see a bullish engulfing on the 4 hour, oh yeah, I'm definitely good to go. If I think the 3 king setup, it's over. It's a wrap. It's easier to see those.
Yes, sir.
Definitely super easy.
Man, appreciate it. I will say I'm learning something, man. I mean, I'm about a year now, but on that CLF you call, I played it all the way up. You know what I'm saying? And I've been hedging with the puts on the way down, looking for the reversals. You know, getting out. You know, just kind of play. That's the one I kind of stuck to. That might be my little go-to. You know,
and that can be like the X. You know, that one X and that one, they all run together. You know what I mean? X, double A, they all kind of run together. So, you know, the steel industry is a hot topic. You know what I mean? And the majority of the time, I want people to get adjusted to 1 or 2 stocks so they can help everybody else out and, you know, store up reminders. You know what I mean? Like, oh, don't forget about this. Is that support? Then I come in, give you a secondary eye, you feel me? Or can give you another eye. And then we'll just all work together, man. It's a powerful thing. That's what they do at the hedge funds. They're not,
yeah. Exactly.
85% of the people that's in the stock market do not own no stocks.
Yep.
And those are the people that work at Wall Street. You feel what I'm saying? They own 0 stocks. So they're working for a company that got a lot of money, that gives them money to trade, and they sit up there and make trades all day together. You feel what I'm saying? It's not just one person eating. Everybody got to eat. So
yeah.
Yeah, man, definitely. I'm super excited. I appreciate everybody for joining for sure. If you're not premium, you know, if you feel like you want to get premium and test us out, go ahead, you know, hit that upgrade button. If you want to do a one-on-one, you can always DM me or Ken, and then we'll set that appointment up and get it done, man. But this week gonna be a crazy one.
Yeah.
Home Depot already up. We already up on some of these trades.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, definitely gonna be an interesting week.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody. I mean, like Dave was saying, we got Sunday Live coming up about 52 minutes. I don't want to waste our time here, but yeah, appreciate everyone joining. I know some of us are still new, and we'll probably do this again, maybe next 2-3 weeks. We don't have our orientation day. Get to meet everyone. But yeah, feel free to ask questions, and like you were saying as well, premium members, it's only $1 a day, $30 a month. Some of these trades you can make. Anyway, you see some of the screenshots. I don't need to explain. You see some of the screenshots.
$30 can make you thousands a week if you just.
Hey man, I want to set up a one-on-one, man.
Oh, J-Fin, get out of here, bro.
J-Fin, you definitely had enough one-on-ones. Everybody. J-Fin, man, hustle everybody.
We've been major love for real.
Yeah, I want a one-on-one from you, J-Fin.
Right, bro. You got a book. I'm talking about you got the doing number playbook for sure.
Yeah, you got everything. You got stars, you got magic. Come on now.
But yeah, man. If anybody got any questions, feel free to ask in the main lobby. If you're not in the Discord, we're gonna post the link in the chat area. You know, please join. Definitely a lot of information. You know, a lot of things that the potential is amazing. Yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. You feel what I'm saying? Target contract was $5, and it ended up at $5.50. You know, $20 of that is $2,000. That's not a makeup. That's not a lie. That's not a I'm gonna try later. Nah, bro. Those once in a lifetime trades gonna come with consistency. You feel what I'm saying? Like, just keep working at your craft. You're gonna start spotting them. You're gonna start getting them in there. I mean, this is gonna be crazy. So it's just amazing, man.
Yeah, appreciate everybody. And yeah, see you during Sunday Live.
For sure, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
All right, bye, everyone.
I posted a Discord link in the chat.
Cool. Yeah, make sure you invite friends and family too. Don't come eat alone. Come on now. You gotta invite friends and family, and let's work on this together.